How is the marketing for the movies, brand integrations different from then to now?
It actually changed since COVID. I would say a
Okay.
little before COVID.
Okay.
Brands kind of understand, and then digital marketing came about.
Yes.
And a lot of influencers came about.
Yes.
So you get people started investing more in getting creators to talk about the brand directly rather than indirectly integrating it into a movie.
Right.
So that's when we saw a shift. It was, I think, for a couple of years, brands stopped doing a lot of infilm.
Okay.
They've actually started doing infilm now again because that is where you reach the masses. And it is across, all tier cities. You do get to the crux of the
India,
audience.
yeah.
And India. So
Yeah.
whether it's like a movie like Jolly LLB, or you're watching something like a fighter, versus you're watching something like a Student of the Year. So it
Correct.
depends on the niche, on where you are at. A brand kind of then chooses to integrate.
Right. And at what point did you think that you needed an agency to kind of do this and start Bottom Line?
Well, I knew I can't be a person doing it. After Ravan, I think we were two people.
Okay.
And then it just had to grow. You had to find the right people, the people who actually. So I'm never going to go beyond a boutique firm. That's for sure. That's something I've decided.
Okay.
And I know I have people who have given us offers to buy us out, to integrate or to merge with them. But that's something that I don't want to do because you lose your identity. I'm not saying big firms are great, but I believe in a very boutique setup.
Okay.
I was on Wall Street. I was part of a hedge fund that we managed over $5 billion, and we were only 5 of us. So I don't believe you need 100 people to do great work. I just
Right.
think you need to be systematic, have time management, and just be organized the way you work. You can do fantastic work. And also you pick and
Right.
choose what you want to do, right?
Right.
So you do things that are close to your heart where you think you can actually add value. We just
Right.
don't do things for the heck of it.
Right. When these you work with these Bollywood movies and have brand integrations, does this celebrity also kind of take calls, or are they out of the marketing thing?
Depends who it is.
Okay. Okay. And if they have a say, to what extent?
Depends who it is. We'll stick with that.
Okay.
But that's just like
understood.
one facet of what we do, right? Movies. That's just a very small vertical. There are
Right.
many other verticals.
Right.
So
So you do end-to-end marketing, right?
yeah. So the difference between what we do at Bottom Line is, if let's say you're a brand, you come to us and say, hey, we're launching this, what can you do?
Okay.
So we kind of work with you to understand what is your end goal. We tell you these are the people we think are great aligned for it, whether
Okay.
it's macro influencers or celebrities. We then give you the creative idea, and then we execute for you and then help you with the amplification of it as well.
Understood.
So you will still have a PR agency, you will still have a digital agency.
Okay.
However, we will give you the ideas that they can take and then execute from the digital front. We don't do content, we don't create posts, we
Okay.
don't do sponsored posts, we don't do SEO, we don't do all
Right.
of that.
More like a consulting.
Yeah, but we do the end-to-end where we do the production in-house. We kind of see the whole product put together, and then we give you the whole idea on how to amplify it. So we kind of build brands. That's the forte of the
Got it.
company.
Which is like the most favorite brand or campaign that you have
That's
worked
hard
on?
to say.
2, 3.
Many. Open Arms with Gauri Khan,
Okay.
where for the first time a Bollywood celebrity put their house on Airbnb. So it was their home in Delhi. Then I would say Govo, because it was working with the founder.
Okay.
And creatively we came up with the campaign, decided who to sign on. So that was the second one. There are so many, honestly.
No, I'm sure that's very interesting because the takeover of the whole, you've done it for so long. I've spoken to people who've done like mainstream media and marketing and then digital marketing. What do you think is the difference? Which one do you enjoy more?
I enjoy creating stuff, whether it's
Okay.
digital or mainstream. So sometimes we have brands that just want to do digital content.
Right.
In fact, one of the ones that we enjoyed doing was working with the Caprese team, coming up with the idea of getting Manish to design bags for Diwali. So the whole process on what to choose, how to choose it, getting the right person, shooting it, and then
Right.
how to amplify it, that was interesting.
Right.
When it comes to mainline media, it comes down to the movies, honestly.
Right.
But we used to do, I would say we've done more than 500 films.
Oh, wow.
But now we pick and choose, so it's, I would say, more like 5 to 6 films a year. That's it.
Right. And so, how has the OTT space changed for brands and marketing?
It hasn't. I think cinema still has a place where it does. People love to go to big screens. It's an experience. I love watching movies on big screen with a popcorn, and it's a whole experience. You can't take that away.
Yeah.
But OTT has made consumption a little more convenient. You can watch it at home.
Yes.
You can watch it at your own convenience.
Right.
Also, it's shorter form and easier content to digest. Also, it's different.
Right.
You can't have something like an Arya Run, which is series. I love watching series. We all
I know
binge
that.
watch series.
Yes.
But I think that's what's changed, and brands can integrate into it more. Also, come up with different campaigns that are a little more realistic, and it's easier to get them to do the campaigns versus an actor, because
Okay.
actors are endorsing brands, their category blocks.
Yes.
In OTT, I'm not saying there aren't, but it's an easier way to get more.
Right. I was actually going to ask you that what is the difference between when you're working with a celebrity versus when you're working with like an OTT star or a creator even?
I would come back to most of the OTT shows we've done are with celebrities.
Okay.
So we basically, it just depends. Like, when you have Made in Heaven, or you have a show like an Arya, or you have something like Archie's. It just depends on who's producing it and
Okay.
how the basically the streaming service gives you the leeway on to create content. So we did like Geraya. There was a brand that we did was Fernmill. It was during the lockdown.
Okay.
So we didn't integrate it into it, but we integrated when they were doing the promotion.
Promotions.
The
Right.
furniture was theirs.
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
you come up with all these ideas of like how to integrate the brand.
Absolutely.
And which one has given you like the best results?
All of them. It's unfair to choose. I mean, we've had situations where we've done movies that have not done well, but the brands were really happy because they got the association and they got their mileage. But mainly, I would say macro and celebrities are where our forte comes in.
Okay.
We don't do that much influencer campaigns, but we do work a lot in the interior space and in the fitness space.
Right. And so is there any particular industry that you like working in that's interesting?
Very tough question. I love travel
Okay.
personally, so
Okay.
I myself love doing campaigns for tourism. When it comes for Airbnb, our airline partners, I love doing that because it's just I love travel, so
Right.
it just fits in.
When a brand comes to you, how do you define the channels that they should promote or advertise on?
We recommend some depending on what the end goal is.
Okay.
So whether it's going to be digital, a combination of digital outdoor, as well as television, whether it should be radio or not, depending on the goals that they have, we actually suggest.
Right. You also did the Atlantis launch, right? You were the PR
We
part
didn't-
of it,
we were the India piece for it.
India piece.
So
Okay,
basically, the guys who were doing it in Dubai reached out to us and wanted us to kind of let India know that
Okay.
the Royal Atlantis is opening and Beyonce was launching. So we did the whole red carpet. We got a lot of celebrities on board. In fact, recently we did the one and only Jabil. So we did the whole marketing and PR for Asia and the India piece for it.
Right. But do you think networking is very important in our industry at least?
It is, but I also believe that your work speaks for itself. You should be in a space where people call you and say, hey, we've heard of you. And
Right.
that for me is the ultimate compliment.
How many years did it take for you to get there?
It's not conceited if I say that, but I would say maybe 4 to 5 years.